Hi, my name is Bryce, and today I'm going to talk to you about how technology advances society. So as many of us are aware, there's technology all around us. For example, here's my cell phone. I'm actually recording on my computer. And many of us may be wondering, why is technology, so important? Why do people put so much emphasis on it? Well, the reason, in fact, is because the more technologies we have, the further we can advance as a society. One major example of this is Japan. Back in right after World War I, Japan was an isolated island. They never thought that they needed to go anywhere else besides where they lived. After seeing the first steamboat that we drove in the United States, they had a huge wake-up call. They realized that they were far behind on the world standards of technology. So from that day on, the Japanese society made a dedication to make sure they were one of the most technological advanced countries in the world. As we know today, Japan is a powerhouse when it comes to living standards, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to new innovations. They're a very advanced society in Asia, and the reason is because they have such an emphasis on technology. One perfect example is that Japan is the most densely populated city in the world. That means there's more people per square foot than in any other place in the world. This is because Japan offers lots of benefits that other countries couldn't necessarily offer to their citizens. Japan recently has come out with something that has innovated and advanced the gaming community. One of these things is called an Oculus Rift. An Oculus Rift introduces a new 3D way, a 3D way of playing video games. You strap on, it's like a visor, and it allows you to actually control with your movements the person who you're playing as. And the reason why this is relevant to advancing society is because it generates revenue. So this new technology is put into a competitive market, which then makes profit and forces other people to come up with better ideas and new technology to be able to compete with them. One example of how countries that don't emphasize on technological advances suffer is North Korea. North Korea is one of the only countries that have closed borders to all its neighbors. It's a dictatorship, and this is actually the poorest country in the world. This may surprise lots of people. Well, what makes it the poorest country in the world? It actually is due to the lack of technology. This country has the highest rate of starvation. It has the highest rate of disease, and it has on average the shortest people, and also has an average on the shortest lifespan. Reason being is because they don't have a lot of the benefits or medicines or a lot of technologies that other countries have, for example, the United States. They actually accept more doctors from other places to come in and help cure their people because the technology that they have there on the medicine field is insufficient, and they're like hand-me-downs that are used all the way back in like the 60s and 40s. This is my prime example of why technology advances society. I'll go deep into the medical field here. Back in the 1700s, if you got an infection in your leg, the thing that they did to stop it from spreading was amputating. Today, the amputation rate for infections is almost none. This is because people have found and discovered more efficient ways to cure infectious diseases. Today we have many different medicines that help cure diseases that were uncurable maybe even 10 or 20 years ago. As society grows and people discover new things, society pushes and advances. An ancient example of this was Rome. At its time, Rome was the biggest country in the world. It controlled almost all of Europe, parts of Africa, and it controlled most of Western Asia. The reason being is because they were more technologically advanced than other societies. They had something called cataracts, which basically is a fancy term for an irrigation system. They're able to bring water to different cities where water wasn't available. This was key in their success because they were able to control more land, inhabit more land by the fact that they were able to bring in resources into that specific area. They also invented roads, which makes travel a lot easier in between cities, which made communication more efficient. And a perfect example of a modern day city is Las Vegas. Las Vegas geographically is a barren wasteland. There's no resources out there that would attract civilization. However, the one thing that brings in all their revenue is gambling. When gambling was invented, it actually made it possible for different cities to establish in different places because they could use gambling as their main source of revenue. Today we know Las Vegas is one of the most popular cities in the United States to go to on a weekend or for vacation. And that's because people have used this revenue from different technologies, for example gambling, and now even different entertainment shows to attract more people to come to the city. As we can see, in many different fields, technology advances society in the fact that we have more things available and accessible to us than we do if we didn't have these technologies. And to conclude, I would just like to add that as we progress as a society, we're going to have even more things available to us than we would in the past. Thank you.